Wednesday, the 15th of December. Well, I think this is the latest I've ever done the recording for our Wednesday reflection. Most of you know that Tuesday is my day off, and I travel down to sort of the Glasgow area and watch my grandson. But, well, today, a little bit different. We watched our grandson, we went visiting our friends, and then we gave our grandson his tea. My daughter-in-law came home, we nipped over to my daughter's, had dinner with her, but that was literally 45 minutes. But it was very nice. We got a Domino's pizza, so it was very tasty. And then we left her. She was on night shift, and then we went to my sister's. So it's been busy, busy, busy today. So it's now 11:30 on Tuesday evening, and this is me just getting a chance to record. And the reason that I left it so late was because I wanted to hear what the First Minister had to say in her announcement today. But before I get to that, a week past Saturday, some of the church members and the Sunday Club and some of our Boys Brigade members, we all went to Perth Theatre to see the pantomime Cinderella. It was a great night. Everybody thoroughly enjoyed themselves, and we had a great bus driver that drove us down there, and he was joking with us, and yeah, it was great. Everybody kept their masks on the bus both ways. However, when we got to the theatre and we went into our seats, we all kept our masks on, but I would say we were some of the very, very few who did. That did cause me some concern. Certainly Perth Theatre's not a big theatre, but there must have been a few hundred at least in the theatre. And as I said, very, very few people wearing masks. However, we did our bit and we wore our masks. Now, the thing about the pantomime, of course, is that people, you boo and you shout yay and he's behind you. And, oh, no, he's not. Oh, yes, he is. So there is lots of interaction, lots of shouting from the audience. And, of course, there's always the famous sing-along at some point. And, again, people are using deep breaths and singing and shouting loudly. So transmission, if it was going to happen, I think would happen quite easily. Anyway, enough about Perth Theatre. That was on the Saturday. Then, the week past Tuesday, so a week ago today, I was at the Theatre Royal in Glasgow to see Les Miserables. I think I've mentioned that to you before. And it was, of course, fantastic. Now, you're talking about a much, much bigger theatre with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people in it. However, the Theatre Royal did announce before the performance began about turning your mobile phones off, but also that it was expected for people to wear masks during the whole performance, unless, of course, they were exempt. Well, where I was sitting, there was at least 3 people to my left who didn't have their masks on the entire performance. There was about 6 or 7 people to my right who didn't have masks on either. And when you looked around just the small area that I was in the front stalls, and as I looked round, you just glance round and behind you to the right, and then you looked to your left and had a look. Again, I would say there was more with masks on than what there was at Perth Theatre, but that was just in the small area I was in, but there were a lot of people without masks on. So the reason I'm telling you all of this is because, of course, the First Minister announced today that if you are going into other people's houses, if you're meeting people for a meal somewhere, or even in church for a cup of tea, maybe a coffee morning, or whatever it is in public places, they are requesting that it's no more than 3 households. Now, let's be honest, 3 households could mount to quite a number of people. If there's a couple with 3 children in a house, well, if 3 households were like that, that's 15 people. but it's still 3 households. However, in church, 3 households can mean as little as 3 people, and probably not much more than 6 or 8 people. So that really limits what we do in the church. But I understand the need for rules and regulations. The First Minister and all the professionals that advise us of what we've to do and not to do, our guidance, well, they are receiving far more information than we are. And I know I don't like to assume things, but I'm assuming that they are hearing that transmission, when they hear about the track and the test and protect, and when people are pinged because they've either been at household parties or they've been at a big function. So yeah, I can understand where this 3 households is coming from. However, you can still go to a nightclub and be on the dance floor. So you can dance with another 500, 800 people without masks on. You can go into the pub, and as long as you've got a drink in your hand and you're drinking, you can be amongst how many people, and people that you don't even know. So this business of the 3 households has got me a little bit perplexed, I must admit. But it's just to say to the folks who attend church and church functions that the Church of Scotland have a dedicated group, a very good dedicated group, who look at the rules and regulations when the government make them. So they are having a meeting today, which is Wednesday when you hear this recording. They're having a meeting today. We may not have out the guidelines tomorrow, Wednesday night. It may be Thursday before the guidelines come out. So all we're asking for is patience. And I know patience can be a hard thing as well, because let's be honest, if we have to cancel something, well, we don't like doing that at the last minute. So at the moment, everything is as normal. It's, well, on Sunday after church, well, we're still hoping, if Church of Scotland doesn't change the rules, to have our refreshments. But of course, we'll have our barriers back up, and we'll probably have social distancing a bit more in place than what's been recently. But please just carry on as normal in the church. But can I again say thank you to the people of East and Old, because you have been super. You're wearing your masks, you're sanitising your hands, you're keeping relative distance from each other, and we're obeying all the rules that we have to and everything that we have to conform to, so that we can have a near normal life, especially our church life. So please don't worry about it just now. Just wait and wait patiently, and we'll be in touch. We're still hoping and praying that our musical Winter Wonderland evening will take place on Friday evening, because our church surely is big enough that we can socially distance in many different parts of it to have our mulled wine and mince pies and tasty bites after it. So yeah, that's my message for today. It's just, you know, there's reasons why these decisions are being made, but, well, we don't know what they are really at the back of it. And it's a bit like when we speak to God in prayer. Sometimes we get our answers and sometimes we don't. And maybe the answer to our prayers is no, and maybe it's yes. But God does it in his own time and in his own way. So look out for more information that will be coming to you over our social media and in any other way that we can do it before the weekend arrives, and the Church of Scotland COVID group will get back to us to give you that information. I hope you have a good week ahead with even some of these restrictions now coming back into place. God bless everyone.